Recording. Okay, welcome. It's, oh my gosh, we're April. I keep saying it's May. Today is April 27th, so it's the last week. So if you guys are shooting for a Success Club, I know a lot of you are having conversations. You guys are so close. We have so many people on our board. So this is your last week to do that. Let's Get Up is still on sale for coaches. So definitely keep leveraging that. I know I'm leveraging that with conversations that I've had, even though our sale's over. You can do whatever you want on the side. Like I have some people that are right on the cusp, and I'm like, hey, if you join by the end of the month, like I'll honor this gift card deal. Just make sure you guys are hitting Success Club. Yes. So, what was it? Other announcements. May 3rd is the customer launch for Let's Get Up. So that's super exciting for our big virtual gym group that we're running. Myself, Mindy, and Amanda Paquette, we're planning a meals and mindset kind of group where May 3rd is going to be the prep week. And then May 10th will be our start date. We have a lot of people that are asking for nutrition support. So we heard that, we saw it. We're going to be doing a challenge focused on people tracking their nutrition so they can pick either 2B Mindset or Ultimate Portion Fix. And we're going to be providing content for both of those programs. Myself and Amanda are Ultimate Portion Fix certified. So we're going to be, giving some people support with that. Yes, so many fun things, and I'm so thankful I have people helping with that as well. And then May 5th, we're going to be doing a Zoom coach sneak peek. So you guys stay tuned for that. There'll be more information to come on the coach sneak peek, but plan for May 5th, which is going to be a week from tomorrow on a Wednesday. So that's kind of like what's going on in our team and our little group. Also, I want to give a huge shout out. I know Marissa's not on here, but she hit Emerald this week. I see Brooke is on here. She hit Ruby, and I posted in our team page. We have 3 girls, awesome leaders that are so close to Diamond. And I want you guys to just rally around them, cheer them on. We've got Melissa, we've got Brooke, and then actually Nikki is going to be hitting it this week. The way that things are looking, we just had to switch a couple things around, but I could cry. Nikki's my sister too. We've got a lot of sister pairs in here. We got Amanda and Ashley. I know Caitlin's got her sister. We've got Becca and Melissa, me and Nikki. Like, just if you have a sister, like, do it with them. That's how it's got to be. So shout out to Nikki. I can't wait to shout you out next week and just like cheer you on. Oh, and then you guys, for our in-person local event, I'm still planning on doing a dinner May 7th, thinking like 6:00 or something. I'll create an event. So you guys can put that on your calendar because we're going to celebrate all of the hard work that we have put in this month. Just a casual dinner for anyone that wants to get together and meet up and just like have some drinks and have some fun. So those are my announcements. And now I am going to dive in with these 3 awesome speakers. And I am so excited because these are 3 coaches, Amanda Wade and Sarah Smith and Caitlin Carr. They are on our team Heart and Hustle. I believe you guys are all under Brooke Anderson, which is also my coach, I think. Like, basically, we're all on a team together. But they are 3 newer coaches, and I have seen them work so hard these past couple months and just hit some really awesome goals right out the gate. And while watching them, I've kind of just asked them like what they're doing and figured why not get them all together and put a call together for our newer coaches. I think sometimes it's easy for me to forget what it's like to be a new coach because it was over 2 years ago. And even talking to Sarah just now, it's funny, we were talking about, missing Success Club 1 month, and I don't have that fear anymore because I'm in such a habit, but I'll never forget my first month I hit it and my second month I did it. And I almost quit like 2 months in. I was like, I suck at this. I can't hit Success Club. I'm bringing my whole team down. And it was a team cup month. So we didn't get like a t-shirt because of it. I was so hard on myself. And you guys, I don't even want to think about where I would be if I would have quit 2 months in because I didn't hit a little goal. It happens in this business. So these ladies have been killing it. They both are, Amanda actually just hit Success Starter this month, which is something she could talk about a little bit more. She's an Emerald coach. Sarah's an Emerald coach and has been kicking butt and hitting Success Club. And Caitlin was a Success Starter. And as you hit Success Starter, you guys, we have some information in our team page on that, but basically you get a free ticket to Summit. Super cool. So both Caitlin and Amanda, you guys are going to get that for next year. Holler. And Caitlin was able to be in the Let's Get Up test group with Shaun T. So she was able to do that program firsthand before anyone else. Now, she did a call on that last week. We don't need to go all into that. If you guys want to watch that recording, it's up in our Heart and Hustle team page. And Caitlin's also going to be Diamond this week. I just saw. So these girls are all new. They're women, they're working moms, they're busy, and they're making this business work. So I just asked them a couple questions. I want them to share their stories about, where they were before coaching, why they decided to coach, and really just talk about those early months and what they focused on to see some of those early wins. Because I think as a new coach, everyone can agree, there's a lot to take in. There's all these terminologies and words and team calls and stuff. But obviously, these three women have proved that you can see success early on by just focusing on the right things. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let them get going. And whoever wants to go first, you guys can start with your story, where you were, and why you decided to sign up as a coach. So I'll just let you guys unmute yourself.
Hey. Okay, so I guess I'll go first. So my name's Amanda Wade. I am from West Lafayette, Indiana. So I'm not from Iowa like everyone else besides my sister. Is anyone else not from Iowa?
A lot of us are from
you all
Wisconsin.
are from Iowa. So we're the only ones from Indiana. So anyways, I stumbled upon Brooke Anderson through Megan E. Walton in December, and she was doing the live 411 call. And I just watched that and I was like, oh my gosh, I love her so much. Like, I just really connected with her. And it was like one of those days where you just needed to hear something like that. Yeah, and I immediately stalked her on Instagram and sent her a message. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. I want you to be my coach. And I was like, I don't know if she used to know me. I don't really know her, but I did it. And I just felt like it was just something I needed to do. I wish I could go back to that day and really remember it so well, because I just did it. I was at work and I just took a break and did it. So I tried Beachbody 5 years ago. It didn't work out. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have good support, and I didn't really just have all the information. And then, my coach wasn't very nice, actually. And then, I tried it again last year, and I just had not very good health. I had low vitamin D. And if anyone else has had that before, that sucks. And I didn't know I had it until my sister's like, hey, I work for a hematologist. You should probably go get that checked. So I did. Sure enough, it was really low. And I was like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm tired for a reason. Anyways, I got that under control. And I started feeling like myself again, but I felt like I had a void in my life. And my husband has always been 4 years, Amanda, you need a hobby besides watching your kids and working. And I was like, you know what? I do, but I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time for anything. I work and I'm a mom. That's it. So I did that. And I saw Brooke, right? So I signed up and I just was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm just going to try it, see how it goes. So I signed up for 9-week Control Freak and I was all in. I told Jason, I was like, hey, Jason, we're going to get my room set up. We're going to do this. I'm doing it, holding myself accountable. So I did it. And 2 weeks in, I had this crazy, come to Jesus moment. And I took a video of it because, and my sister, I called her first and I just was crying because it's just crazy. I never worked out. My most consistent workout before now was in high school. That was a long time ago, guys. And I was like, Ashley, oh my gosh, if I can do this, you can do this. Like this feeling that I have right now, like it's so good. Like I can work out, I can do these things, like all these things. And it just feels freaking amazing. And I took a video of it, like it was awesome. If anyone wants to see it, let me know. It's like 4 minutes long. Anyways. But yeah, it's forever changed my life. And before Beachbody, I just, yeah, like I said, I always felt like something was missing. So now I make notes, but I'm like not using my notes. I know how you guys feel. Can you guys like take yourself off silent? It's like really weird. I just feel so alone.
You're doing so great.
It's like, can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, just
Anyway.
keep speaking from the heart, sister. You're doing awesome.
Okay. So, so yeah, I just like, okay, had this come to Jesus moment, right? And crazy story, but like I basically broke my knee like 4 years ago. And 2 weeks in, you guys, 2 weeks in of working out, I was able to bend it all the way. Like I haven't been able to do that for 4 years, 4 years, and I can do it. Heck yeah. Yeah, so it's exciting. And what else? And then I also suffered from anxiety and depression. I don't know if anyone else has that around here, but yeah, I did. I didn't realize how bad it was until I started feeling better. And adding Beachbody to my life is way better than any medication I could ever take, like ever. It's like I finally like I wake up and like I want to get up. Like I want to get up and work out. Like I never wanted to do that, like ever. Like getting up was a struggle, but now I look forward to it. So it's awesome. What else is on here? Ooh, before I was a coach, I think I answered those. Hesitations of becoming a coach, I think was I'm kind of a cheapskate. Not gonna lie, I was like $15. Oh, but there's a discount. Okay, I'm in. So he did that, and yeah, that was my biggest hesitation. And then I also just like didn't want to let anybody down. I was like, if I become a coach, then like people like I'm going to have to be held accountable. Like I don't want to let anyone down. So that was like a hesitation that I had. And so the reason I signed up really was for the discount at first, but 2 weeks in, that 2 weeks, I changed my mind. I'm like, I have to spread the word about this feeling. I have so many friends, so many moms, like I want to help them. Like that is my goal. Like us busy mamas like have to stick together because if we don't have anyone else. Like we have our families and stuff, but it's just different. Like having that group of people and support. And that's what I've really found in this group of women. We're all kind of alike, which is so nice, so cool. I can't wait to actually like see y'all in person. And yeah, it's been so great. And then my first month of coaching, I just focused on myself. Like I'm like, I have to commit to my workouts. Like that's so important because I'd never done that before. And then I really focused on like getting on the website and like learning about that, like looking at trainings, looking at everyone else's like posts and stories and that type of thing. I kind of took it easy my first month because it was so new and it kind of felt like a little overwhelming. And I just asked Brooke a lot of questions. I met Sarah. I focused on the challenge group. We posted every day together. Caitlin, you were there too. I think you were there. Yeah. Okay. I think you were. I was really committed during the 9-week control freak. And then Sarah and I really connected. We connected through Aldi. She was talking about Aldi and I was like, hey, I love Aldi too. And it was just kind of cool to like meet another person within a challenge group that you could connect with. And then I found that like she was newer and I was newer and we just kind of connected that way. And I found that she was being a coach and I was a coach. So that was really cool. So we connected, we started a group together. We've got like 30 people in it now, which is really, really cool. Yeah. And then our like, the other group, the free group that we do, there's like 50 some people in it. So it's just really neat. And I recommend just like finding a person to connect with at the beginning. Maybe that's newer because that was really nice. And then SC, the Success Club, I'll just be 100% honest right now. I talked to my coach today and I was like, I right now, as of this very moment that I'm going to change, I do not send a lot of messages out. I just talk about it like all the time to people. And I think people hear that passion that I have for it because it's changed my life so much. I just talk about it. I talk about it. I'm very fortunate that people send me messages, but I know that's not going to last forever. So I'm going to keep doing my stories too. That's like one thing. I get a lot of viewers with those. But I have my list of people to connect with, and I'm doing it for like 3 months now. So I think connecting will be a lot like easier because they're kind of it's kind of like a warm instead of a cold call. I don't know if anybody's in sales, but it's like a warm call, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh my gosh,
It's not
you
everywhere there.
are so great. I love it. I just took a couple of
I
notes.
love Brooke. So awesome.
Oh my gosh. And I think that I just love how you talked about the fear first of the $15. I think that's so normal. Until we explain the value of it. And once you knew the value, you're like, oh, like I get a discount and that's great. And I just think it's awesome how your first month too, you really just took that time to focus on you and do your own research. Like you dove into the trainings, you checked out the back office, you didn't really stress about all the numbers. You kind of just were figuring it out, asking questions along the way. And I think the biggest thing is connecting. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I still don't really stress about it. Like,
I love
I feel like
it.
I should, but like, I feel like I don't know, the less you stress, I don't know. Hard to explain.
That's so great. That's what people need to hear. We don't need to stress. We can just dive in and have fun and figure it out along the way and make friends. Like Sarah, can I popcorn to you? Because I think it's so awesome that you mentioned finding somebody to connect with to do this with you. And Sarah, I'll let you go and you can share your story and you can talk a little bit more about, yourself. And then I'd also love to hear more about like what you guys kind of did together and how that's working.
Yeah. So I'm from Iowa and I'm an athletic trainer at the University of Iowa. So I work a ton of hours. I work predominantly with our football team. So for 5 months out of the year, I work 7 days a week, average like 50 to 60 hours a week. So signing up to be a coach was probably the craziest thing I've ever done because again, people always tell you don't have time for it and all that stuff, but you really do find time to do it. And the more you do it, the quicker it is to do it. I know when I first started, like making a video took me like an hour. It felt like to record it, edit it, post it, but now it takes me like 5 minutes. But anyways, I was an athletic trainer and then I'm a mom of a 20-month-old. And so he was like 8 months old when COVID hit. And then being in a healthcare profession, COVID completely changed my work style. And when I went back to work, I just felt completely lost and out of control. So I had been doing Beachbody since January of 2020. And then I randomly found Brooke on Facebook. So our hometowns are like right next to each other. So we had a whole bunch of friends in common. So she kept showing up on my Facebook as someone you may know. And after like a month of seeing this person's face, I just added them. God works in mysterious ways. And so I like saw her always posting about Beachbody. I was like, okay, I do Beachbody. So when I signed up, I just signed up on Beachbody. I didn't have a coach or anything. I was one of the random signups that as you hit Success Club, you start to see. So I had no idea about this community at all. So I see her posting about it. And then Caitlin will touch on this too. I saw her go on Megan's retreat to Arizona. And I was like, this girl gets to go on vacation for working out and like doing this business. I was like, what the heck? And so I just started answering the polls in her question of like, are you interested? Do you want to watch my coach like sneak peek, all this stuff? And I finally gave into it. And I'm glad I did because I've loved it. I have loved this community of these girls that I didn't know existed in the world, just the positivity that it brings to my life. Keep sharing that because I didn't have that at the time of my life when I became a coach. I just felt so unsupportive and I wasn't taking care of myself. And your coach is usually telling you to take care of yourself as your number one job. And as moms and working professionals, we do not do that. And so I wanted to pass that message along to others. And the first thing I did was like the one thing you're not supposed to do. And I was like, everyone should try Beachbody. That was like my first post. And randomly someone commented and was like, I was just telling my husband I wanted to do this. I'll sign up. And I was like, what? I was like, that's all it took. But that was a fluke because that's not all it takes. It's a lot harder than that after you get going for a while. But my first month I hit Success Club 5 and I was like, oh, I can do this. My next month I hit Success Club 4, which was still pretty good. And then I hit Success Club 0 my next month because in January, I didn't hardly do anything show up weeks down the road. And that's what it did. And then I was telling Brooke before a lot of people got on that I just missed Success Starter by basically like 1 Success Club point in my last month. So I was pretty devastated by it. Like it took me a while or like a day to cope with that. But then I knew like I had to use it as a turning point. I could either like give up and say, okay, this was fun, moving on, or use it because you're going to have a lot of goals in this business, a lot of goals in life. You're not always going to reach them. Things are going to come up. So I used it as an incentive, like, all right, missed that one, but let's move on to the next one. I was already Emerald. My next goal is Diamond. And that's kind of what you have to do, I feel like, is just keep pushing, even though you're not always going to hit the goals when you think that you will. Oh, and then how I met Amanda. Yeah, so Amanda randomly started talking. She was a newer coach. You don't have a lot of like customers challenge groups, coaches. So for me, it was hard for me to want to start my own group if I only had like 3 or 4 people interested in it. So we partnered up and we actually, I mean, I think the first month we had maybe like 10 or 15 people in it. And then now as we keep adding more people, it's almost up to 30. And I think that's what you have to do. Like maybe find another coach, or like you said, there's a lot of sisters on this. So pair up with your sisters and just like flaunt it. Show how much fun you have, whether it's 1 post or 20 a day, just like show how much fun you're having, show how much you're engaged into it. And hopefully people feed off that and being consistent. That's what I've learned from this Brooke and all the girls that are really killing it in the business is if you're consistent and always posting, that's what got me to sign up. Was Brooke was always posting the same stuff. And at first I was annoyed. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's always posting her workouts. Not you, Brooke, but Brooke Anderson.
I think you cut out for a second.
I was like, oh my gosh. But then I got, I think consistency, like just keep posting all the time is what I've learned this past like month is the most important thing.
Amazing. I'm like writing down so many notes, you guys. If you're not taking notes, you need to come back and write down notes because I'm just like seeing this awesome, consistent message. And I feel like you're going to hear that word from everyone at every stage in this business. And I love how you said you kept seeing Brooke pop up as a friend to add. And you eventually were like, oh, I should add this girl. Like that just shows you it's the same as our posts and stuff like you guys are doing. The more people see it over and over again, it might even like feel annoying in the beginning, or we worry about what other people are going to think, but it just takes that like one extra time or seeing that same message repeatedly. And then maybe a trip where someone's like, dang, I need to try this out. So just showing up over and over and over and just keep going for it. This is so great. All right, Caitlin, I'm going to let you go for
One
it.
thing.
Oh, yeah, go.
One thing I will add to, so Dana said this early in a call. So first of all, these calls are probably the most important. I feel like my first month or two, I tuned into every single call that was provided. So you guys are doing the best thing by tuning in. or watching them on replay. That's important too. But Dana made a message early on, and she said she saw a huge shift in her business when it was about like caring for the people and not about your results. So like it is important for us to hit those SC numbers and everything, but don't let that be your driving force. So like in January or February, when I wasn't hitting like great SC numbers, I was having a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, thank you so much for posting this. You're being a huge inspiration. I'd be like, awesome. Like, do you want to join me? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. But I still do all the time. They're like, thank you for posting this stuff. You're such an inspiration. Like, please keep doing it. And that's what's important is you might not change their mind or they might not join you today, but maybe down the road they will, or like you're truly in this for the right reasons.
I was writing that all down and I think my baby's crying. So Caitlin, if you want to take it, that
Yes.
was perfect.
Sounds good. First, I just have to say that I'm pretty sure Brooke and I are like, I don't know, internet soulmates. She's been like my girl crush since day one in the group. Something about her energy. So you guys are super, super lucky to be part of her team, because I just think, I don't know, how can you not watch her and be like, I need to know her. So we had our first date though, and it's a lot less awkward now. We had our first internet Zoom date and she was late, but I got over it. So but my name's Caitlin. I have been a coach for about 6 months, and so I am a mom of two. I have two that are 15 months apart, and they keep me pretty busy. And then I work full time. I'm a PA in peds cardiology at the university. So I also work in Iowa City, down the road from Sarah. And a lot of you guys have probably heard this, but kind of pre Beachbody, pre coaching, before I had kids, I was like a gym rat. I used to get up at, I don't know if it was necessarily by choice or more so just out of some things that had kind of happened in life, but I was getting up at about 3:30. I would drive to the North Liberty area, which is about an hour from where I live, work out from 5 to 6, shower, and go to work by 7. And I was doing that every single day. In addition, I was tracking my nutrition like an annoying amount, because that's how the gym kind of did it. And at the time, it was exactly what I needed. But looking back now, I'm pretty sure I didn't have as good of results as I'm having now because I was so stressed out and so exhausted. But we fortunately got pregnant with Charlie, and I kind of put everything on freeze. We had experienced like a late loss with our first baby. And so I was in like, I am not going to move my body. I'm just going to protect this child. Now I understand it had nothing to do with it. But at the time, that was the way that I kind of handled the situation. So I stopped being active outside of like daily life type stuff. I mean, we're active people, but I wasn't doing anything like in a structured way with Charlie. And then about 5 months after having Charlie, 5 months, 6 months, I found out I was pregnant with Jack. And so I was like 2 under 15 months. He came early too. So we were like in the depths of small babies. And I remember being postpartum with Jack, getting ready to go back to work in the hospital. COVID happens. We all know the feeling. And I was just in this like really weird state of being really happy because, to be honest, our 2 under 2 have been pretty darn easy. They are like super good kids. They've been best friends. I was so excited. And then I was also nervous going back to work with COVID, working in the hospital, just walking into like all the changes. And I remember feeling kind of as if I was drowning in like just every single part of my day being about everyone else. I'm the type of person, like I am super, I'm pretty type A. So I was like home on maternity leave, taking care of both kids. My house was always clean, picked up, like it's just, that's my personality. And I remember telling my husband that I was like beyond exhausted. This isn't newborn exhaustion. Like nothing is for me. And so I started doing everything. Everything during COVID in the beginning had free samples. So I did a 2-week Peloton trial. I did a 2-week Nike trial. I did Beachbody trial. I did like YouTube, Pinterest, I don't know, anything you can think of. I was having friends get on Zoom and we were like working out together. And then in May, right when I went back to work, I told my sister, I was like, I need something different. And she had actually been having a lot of stuff going on in her life. So we paired up and we did a 21-day challenge and we locked in our nutrition and we just had like killer results. I mean, I think she lost like 15 pounds in 21 days. We didn't drink alcohol. We didn't do anything. We did it together. She watches our children most days. And so she came over, we would work out together. It was awesome. And then I carried that through the summer. And meanwhile, kind of overlapping this, I have no idea how we came across each other. I'm pretty sure she added me. But I was kind of seeing Brooke in the background. And I was not present on social media. I even wasn't that much of a scroller. I just like, it was very random, but I would get on, see her, usually clicked very quickly through all of her, like, I never listened to people talk. I never watched workouts, but then I was the type to be like, oh, where are you at? Are you on a trip? What's happening? That was my goal. So I continued to do Beachbody kind of by myself. And at the end of in the fall, I was having good results, but I was losing that motivation, desire, because I was doing it by myself. And so I tell this story the same every single time, but I was home alone. My husband worked shift work, so he was gone. Both kids were asleep. I was like really rocking it as a mom. I had probably drank like 3 or 4 beers by myself. I'm like, I'm feeling good. So I'm going to do some big things. So I reached out to Brooke, and I had never been in a challenge group. I also was a random sign up. Like I actually might have been still using someone else's account at that time. I don't remember. And I reached out to Brooke, and she was on her trip flying home. And I was like, hey, all I said was, she'd been messaging me for like a year and a half. All I said was, how much does it cost? That's how kind I am. She was like, oh, I'm so excited, blah, blah. And I was like, I just want to know if it makes sense financially. Like, this is my response. Like, Caitlin, be a nice human and talk. She's like, what are your goals? And I was like, oh, I just was wondering if it was comparable to a gym membership. She probably thought I was like, who is this a-hole? But she let me know. And I was like, awesome, sounds great. And I'm going to sign up as a coach. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I had no idea what a challenge group looked like. So I signed up, filled everything out that night, woke up the next morning, buyer's remorse. What did I do? I didn't tell anyone for like a full week. I was like, I am insane. My husband's going to kill me. What is happening? But I took some time and kind of despite being nervous and the fears and hesitations, I was really excited for the potential, more so like thinking about asking Hannah to do this with me and how we could make this look, and just like creating that community and accountability. So I probably did this, I don't know. So I signed up as a coach. She sent me emails with what to do. I did every single thing like the first and second day. Again, this is just how I am. I don't tell anyone to do this. But I signed up for everything. She told me, we talked to her on a Zoom. She said, you need to go Emerald. I said, sounds good. Signed up my husband and Hannah on like day 3. And my husband's like, what are you doing, Caitlin? This is money. And I told him, just give me a chance to pay for all of the upfront costs. And if I pay for it, then we'll reevaluate this in like 6 months. Like, just let that be my goal, which has been super attainable since. But so I ran with it. I started my own challenge group, like, hey, we're going to start a challenge group in 2 weeks. I had 0 people except my sister. But I agree that in the beginning, the momentum and excitement, I was non-existent on social media before, other than pictures of our children like every 3 months. And so I just kind of dove all in and took whatever the people that were successful doing it said to heart and did those things very literally. Like, it wasn't pretty. I had never posted to my story. I tried way too hard in the beginning. Now I try a lot less hard, because the value is the consistency, not necessarily if it's a pretty graphic or anything like that. And so I dove all in, started our own challenge group. Best decision I made, because almost all of the first 10 women that were in my challenge group are coaches with me now. Not that they're actively running the business, but just with consistency and seeing my results with the products and everything, they're like, I want to do what you're doing. I don't know what it is, but that's what I want to do. And so I think that was one of the best decisions I made, because almost all of them are now coaches with us, and they are like, when I message that we're going to go diamond, they're like, what do I need to do? What do I need to buy? I can go shopping. I will support you. I will, and it's just been a really cool, like atmosphere that we've created, that this is totally a team thing. So that was the one thing. And then I think a couple things that have really helped, because I also didn't send a lot of invites up front, but this idea of inviting kept coming up. So I actually started adding people very early, like making that a huge focus, increasing my followers. I went from like 400 people to 1,600. I had like literally 350, 400 people on Instagram. I just didn't follow anyone. I never searched for anyone. And so doing that early, and then also becoming a lot more interactive on social media. I was very selfish with my use of social media before. I posted cute pictures of my children so people would like them. Like, if I'm being totally transparent, I didn't give a lot of value. I just like showed up literally every couple months. Jack's 6 months old. Look how cute he looks in his little outfit. And then I spent my time wondering if I was going to hit 100 likes. Like, that's seriously I was terrible at commenting on birthdays and other people's posts. Like, I was just super selfish. And so I switched my whole viewpoint of social media and stopped thinking of it like as for me, and just started like interacting with other people and celebrating their wins with them, or reaching out about a mom that's just being a lot more interactive. And I found that doing that ahead has really helped keep, like, not that my market is necessarily warm still, because a lot of my first people came to me, but I'm finding that I have a lot of conversations going on, that when it gets to the point, I do my inviting, I usually batch my invites and I try not to skip inviting, but when I do it, it feels a lot less disingenuous. Like, I feel like I can say, this still might be kind of coming out of nowhere, but I really like X, Y, and Z. I've enjoyed talking to you. No idea if you have any interest, but I just want to extend the invite because this has been awesome for me. And even the no's have been a lot better received than I still get ghosted. People still don't respond or talk, or that they have been talking to me and I say that and they're like, remind. But I feel like the conversation changes the purpose of the invite. Rather than it be me simply sending an invite to hit SC to blah, 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 it feels very much like there's a relationship behind this. I'm doing this because I want you in our group. And so that's been helpful. Another thing that I've done that I'm doing a little less, I did this a lot in the beginning. I opened my group once a week, or once every 2 weeks for a week. I mean, it was like all the time, for people to invite their family and their friends to do a sneak peek with us. And this was super informal. Come in, see what we're doing. I usually did like a partner week that same week where everyone was paired with someone. So when people came in, they saw a lot of engagement. My girls love partner weeks. Like, they get all jacked up about tagging each other. And that was huge, because a couple people elected to sign up as coaches because their sister, aunt, or somebody jumped in and was like, I need a coworker, was like, I need to do this. And I was like, you should take the commission, you should take the, but it also afforded me some customers as well, because some people were like, nope, I want zero responsibility, have them. That was really nice. I do my book club with my girls rather than, I still join the coaching one, but I just told them, hey guys, one of the things that I do is personal development. I would love if any of you wanted to join, and 6 or 7 of us do it, which is fun. Just little things like trying to build the community, because that was outside of myself, which will always be my underlying why. That was my big purpose. And I feel like I agree with the comments of like, there's going to be, like, I'm a goal-oriented person, so I do feel the stress of like, what if I don't hit SC? But in the end, I'm a mom of 2 awesome kids. I have a good marriage. I have a great job. Like, not hitting SC changes nothing about who I am. It doesn't. I think we feel it because our team is very successful. So it's like, I want to do that too. But the people that are successful, if you look at, they stuck around and they kept doing the little things and they kept showing up, and in every season, no matter how it went, they just kept sticking with it. And I think that's what's going to result in being successful. The other thing too, I tell the newer girls that join me that are like, I don't know if I can do this like you. One thing, you don't have to. I'm very weird, like in the sense of I take things on and I do them like to the absolute brim because it's simply who I am. My sister, opposite. And people love her for that because she is like the safe space in our group. She's the person that you're like, we need to get a drink and talk about Caitlin. Like, I just think we, but it is okay to do it how you want to do it because it's going to be more sustainable. And I just tell them like, have goals and then align your actions with those. I keep saying this over and over again, but like, my goal is not necessarily to stop working, but I have a lot of things that Ben and I want to do, and we try and pay for everything outright. And so I want to do that earlier rather than later. I want to have the opportunity to go on trips because we don't, and our job does, and we can afford them. We just don't. We're terrible at that, and neither of our jobs will ever allow that. And so I set my goals to align with those things. Like if I want this to be qualifying for trips and income, then what I'm putting in looks different than Hannah saying, at this point, I just want to like help a couple people and keep showing up for myself. Perfect. That's what's going to keep you around, is to do what works for you. And that can change and it can go back and forth, and that's fine. So I think that's the other thing too. Not to think that everybody has to have the same goal and do it the exact same way, because I think that wears you out and adds a lot of stress if it isn't truly what you need right now or want. So I don't even know if I answered the questions because I didn't write them down. I was just like,
That was amazing. Like,
I'm a
boom,
talker.
mic drop, all three of you. That was so good. I literally have like pages of notes here. And I was going to wrap it up and ask a final question. I feel like you guys kind of already addressed everything and beyond. And I think just some really awesome takeaways that I had personally from you guys is that really just in the beginning, having fun, sharing your excitement. I mean, really falling in love with your journey first is the biggest thing, and sharing it. And I love that you guys just talked about, just sharing, connect with other people. Remember, there are people behind those numbers. And Caitlin, I think you just like nailed it in the head at the end with just like goals. Like just because some people's goals are to leave their job doesn't mean everyone has to leave their job. Or some people want to be elite. That doesn't need to be your goal right now. You may not even know. Like you can start small if your goal is to just pay for your stuff. Like I know early on that was my goal too. It was like, to convince my husband, I was like, I just want to pay for my Shakeology so you don't get mad at me, and then we'll see where this thing goes. Like, that's totally fine. But you guys have brought so much fire. And I know we are almost at the end of that hour and we all have to get up early. I think the last question I have, and maybe we can go each one of you, maybe just like one piece of advice you would give to a brand new coach. Like if you could just think of your journey thus far and new coaches that are just starting maybe this month or a couple months ago that are just starting to take off, but they're kind of in that phase of, just like figuring everything out. Like what is like the best advice that you can give them? And you might have already said it, but whoever wants to start.
I would say just keep going. Keep going. Everyone has bad days, right? Everyone does. But don't let those bad days make you stop, because you just got to keep doing it because it's fun and it's going to be worth it. And you got to do things for yourself. Gosh darn it. Not everyone else.
I love that. I feel like there's so many things. Just be consistent and watch. If you really want to succeed in this and like, be diamond or be premier, be elite, whatever, follow the people that are on that path. Like follow them, add them on Facebook, add them on Instagram, and just do what they're doing. At least that's kind of what I looked at. And just be honest and real. Brooke, you might know the 3 V's that for posting, something about like vulnerable. You guys talked about that, and I felt like that really shows when you post is just being real and talk about like the struggle that you're going through or what successes you have, and people will relate to that. Yeah, those 3 V's.
Took me a minute to remember. Vulnerable, viral, and value.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I think the thing outside of, I mean, the nice thing about our team is there's so many resources, like our bigger team. So all the checkbox stuff is there. I think the biggest thing for me, and this is like ongoing every single day, is to know that you're going to, no matter how successful you are, unsuccessful, you're going to continue to have fear, because I think that there is a stigma overall associated with any type of entrepreneur lifestyle. I mean, there is like this isn't specific to Beachbody, any type of MLM or kind of creating a lifestyle. And so I think it's okay to acknowledge that. Like, I feel like I wake up every day, I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like, seriously. And this is going super well for me. And I feel that and feeling dumb for like posting things, and just like, who freaking cares about, but just kind of leaning into that and understanding that that's going to be every day. And that's a normal, we have that fear with almost everything that we do that challenges us, and to just keep showing up and to acknowledge it, but not let it become more than that. And I think with that, something big for me is I've had to reel in who I follow and kind of how I try to approach what I do, because one, and I'm not saying that everyone that does it has a lot of extra time, but like I've learned, I tried to do a lot of fancy stuff out of fear of not comparing. And I had to reel it in because one, it was not me, and it took way too much time. I wasted so much time. And so I think like along with the fear of continuing to do it, also that comparison game and the fear that it creates that you don't align, because there's people for all of us. And those are the people that you want anyways. You want the people that are you. And so to kind of just acknowledge the fear, it's going to be there. It's there every day, all the time. Like before anything, I'm like, what is happening? But to also lean into the good moments and just acknowledge the fear and not let it limit you necessarily. Because who cares? There are worse things out there that people are sharing and doing and watching. And if the fact that you're sharing, taking care of yourself and encouraging women to do it bothers somebody, then I was that person. It bothered me all the time, but it all had to do with me. It had nothing to do with anybody else. So anyways, just know that you're going to be scared every day.
Yes, I can second that even now, like there's still times it's like, and it always happens after like a big win. Like I feel like every big win I have, I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, oh my God, like fear like is totally there. If you guys haven't read Fear is My Homeboy, I don't know, that's such a good book, and just leaning into that fear, because fear shows you that you're growing and acknowledging it and pushing through. Like I literally this morning wrote down, I'm in this Push Elite group, and where is it? Because it's so great that you mentioned that, because sometimes you think like people that are up at the top, like fear's gone and they've conquered it. No one has. It's there. I literally wrote this morning, inviting, because that's always been just a thing for me. I said, inviting is not about me, it is about them. Like it's about their life. It's not about, like Caitlin said, like you guys have all said, the Success Club is not about us hitting these goals, which is great. Obviously, that's what we're working towards, but it's about the people, the lives that are going to be changed, the people that are going to lose weight or be able to go on these trips or be able to leave their job or whatever it is. It's about them and how it's going to change their life. And when you go into that with that mindset, it's like, oh, yeah, I can do this. Like if it's changed my life so positively, I have to share it. Kind of like Amanda said in the beginning, like I feel so good. I need to share this with everyone so they can feel good too, right? Like that mindset is huge. So, okay. Awesome, ladies. If anyone has any burning questions, I saw just a couple in the chat. I think Nikki asked Caitlin, she was wondering about your partner challenge. What made you think of that?
I like, and I'm not super creative. I mean, I like to plan groups, but I actually do like a gym inventory either once a month, or like I'll message the girls individually and I just ask what they need. And it wasn't that the partner week came up, but everybody kept being like, I don't know, I just need someone to like wake up with me and make me show up. Like that was the girl, And so I asked them, you guys want to do a partner week where I'm going to randomly assign everybody, and all you're going to do all week is tag your partner in your posts. And the really cool thing was we did this early on. And so like I was going back and commenting on everyone's check-ins for the day, and it really quickly taught them all that like you guys can do this for each other too. And then they love it. It's their favorite. Somebody just messaged, we just did one. They're like, I need one of those like next week. And so I don't know, we just do it. And I ask them all the time, like, what do you guys want? I just did a big inventory going through private message and asking like, what do you guys need? What can we do? How can we make this better? And I feel like that keeps the focus on them. And it also is nice because I run out of ideas. Like, I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And I repeat a lot of stuff, but partner week, what came from them just saying like, I need someone to wake me up. And I was like, okay, let's create a little bit of guilt when Tara shows up and she's already tagged you that morning. Well, Maggie, you better show up. And it's crazy that for that week, they all are like, I had to come because blah, blah, blah tagged me. And it usually hangs, they hang around for a couple more weeks and then we do another partner week. And so it's fun.
Sarah and Amanda, it looks like you guys have done that too.
Ashley, I think on Monday posted, she's like, can someone wake up at 6 a.m. with me? So I'll wake up and work out. And I was like, oh, I'll already be at work. I'll make sure you work out. And then I forgot, but she did it. And then we do a lot. I love the little checklist things for like the weeks and stuff. I love when Brooke Anderson would do those in our group. So we're currently doing one of those this week too. The accountability and like seeing other people complete them, you're like, oh wait, I need to go complete mine. I don't want to miss out on this.
Ooh, you should share some of those checklists.
I'll do that.
I feel like
too, especially. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I was gonna say with those things, if you're trying to grow like a team, I'm not any expert, but like a lot of customers have become coaches. And I think early on, like just including the behaviors that you do every day into your challenge group very subtly. Like that's why we did the book club with PD, because I had to do it and they're like, oh, and I think that helps give some idea of like what it is that you do. It's not that, out there. And also doing it with the least amount of work possible. So like I used to feel very personal when people didn't show up and I was like in their messages like, hey, how's it going? And I've learned that if I just set it up for the group to do that, then I don't really have to, at that point, they're being checked on and they decide whether they want to come. So that took a lot off my plate, a lot of time. Not that I don't still check in on people, but I felt it, the partners and that kind of thing has helped quite a bit to eliminate some of the work. I also taught them, a lot of them, I'm like, you already are the best cheerleader. You should be a coach. And they're like, sure, why not? Okay, fine. So I think that helps too, like just adding the behaviors into our challenge groups without being like, this is what coaches do, has been really nice for like customer conversion, because that's where most of my coaches are from.
Awesome.
This is amazing, you guys. Thank you so much. And then my girls, I'm going to record this and I'm going to post this on my YouTube page. Sometimes I feel like it takes 80 hours, so I'm going to let it upload overnight. Go back and watch this and take notes and learn from these ladies, because you guys all have seen some awesome success with just reaching ranks in Success Club. But beyond that, you can see the joy and I could just hear it in your voices and really just see you guys diving into the community, hitting your goals. Like, these women are incredible. So if you need someone to follow, like, go follow them, learn from them. The best thing that you can do in this business is not run alone, but just get to know everybody and take bits and pieces of what you learn from everyone and just start to kind of create your own thing. And again, like everyone said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just give it a shot. Like, try it out, start a group, or use one of the little checklists or graphics, like whatever you're feeling called to do. Like, don't make it overwhelming. Remember, at the bottom of this, we're helping other people and we want it to be joyful. So thank you, Amanda, Sarah, and Caitlin. I am so thankful you guys did this. This gets me
Thanks,
all
Brooke.
fired up. All right, ladies, you all have a good night, and hopefully we'll all be up early tomorrow morning. I know you guys will, for working out, and we'll see you later. Bye.